We're going to be obedient in the house this morning. God is just, He's moving in this place, church. I got folks in this place, they don't have a clue where they are, but they're fighting to get to the right side, but they don't know which way to turn. Come on, folks. Come on. Huh? Can I get some belief? Listen, there's a pastor that's here today that we set a prayer cloth. It has nothing to do with this church. But how many's glad that God heard the prayers? Listen, He's in the house. I know right now. See, that gentleman that came up here, I know that God used him this morning. Scott and his family that's here this morning, I know that God's using them this morning. See, the thing of it is, we come into church, we got it all figured out. They're going to sing 2 worship, the preacher's going to preach, they're going to have an altar service, I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat, and I'm going to lay around on the couch, and my life's going to be good today. See, the devil's done got you figured out. How many's ready for a change in your life? Lift up your hands in the air. How many's ready for a change in your life? See, the problem is we want to change, but we don't want to do anything about it. We want God to walk into our bedroom, undress us, put the right clothes on, then say it's time to go out into the world. That's not how it works. How it works is that God says, okay, I'm going to dress you this morning, but you got to get up. Somebody get that this morning? You got to get up before you get dressed. How many's ever got dressed in bed? Preach somebody. If you have got dressed in bed, wave your hand real like this. Because I want an autograph. I have baptized people in bed before. And I've watched them change colors. I've watched them. The son's here today. I have watched his mother change colors. I watched the glory of the Lord when the water went over her face. I have watched the glory of the Lord start to pour out of her. Amen. Right. See, the problem is this morning is some of you all need a change. God orchestrated these young people to be here years ago. Go, preacher, preach. Ain't nobody else listening. You preach. Because this morning, what the message is on is exactly what's going on in your lives right now. See, the problem is, what are you willing to do? I'm going to every eye closed. Before I get into the Word, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to have them sing just one more short song, just a chorus. Whatever you want to sing this morning. This is what I want to ask you this morning. Amen. You're going to face things. There's no way you can ever get out of it. Look, there are days that I would love to wake up in the morning and I know I've got nothing to fight. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's like being on vacation. If you're wondering, do I get up today? What do I eat today? Am I going to go to work today? No, I'm on vacation. I ain't doing nothing. But see, we are blessed. We forget how blessed we are. I want to read you just a few scriptures, and then I'm going to turn these guys loose this morning. But it says in Exodus chapter 14, we'll start reading at verse 11. It says, "And they said to Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt?" Verse 12 says, "It is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians. For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness." See, a lot of us today, we forget of who God is. Sean preached a message about 2 weeks ago. He talked about how that guy held on to that sword and how his hand froze to that sword. Kenny, last week, talked about the I am, of who Jesus is. See, we forget of who God is. Listen, we're just like them. How many's ever wanted to give up? Raise your hand to be honest. The preacher's raising his hand. So I'm going to be honest this morning. But guess what? If we can get into the Word and know who the Word is. See, we all carry something. I'm going to bring this up to you. This morning, we all have this. We all have this secret sin. We all have it. We all got a bag just like that. Now, Mark, you calling me a sinner? No. Sure ain't. How many times have you wanted to run over somebody because they were going 5 miles an hour?
Amen.
How many has ever got mad at the McDonald's girl because she left out mild sauce? I had 2 guys I thought we were going to have plentiful forgiveness for this morning. Okay? Because I thought as soon as I pulled the burritos out, they went, "There's no sauce? There's no sauce?" I was like, I asked for it. One guy goes, "Well, now we got to go back." I was like, "Yeah, can you imagine going back in for that?" "You didn't know mild sauce, man." "Did you get your food?" "Yep." "No mild sauce." You failed. But see, in our life, here's the deal. In our life, we're just like the Egyptians. We complain because we were working for a Pharaoh who he didn't care about us. They went to seek care for God water. We finally get out of the prison. We get to the Red Sea. We look at the guy who got us this far and we go, "You're an idiot. We're going to die." You say, "Mark, I can't believe you used that word." I'm being honest. See, we in the church, we come through those doors acting like we got it all together. But see, I think there's some folks that's got that. You've got that bag that nobody sees. See, the thing about it is, they may see you down, but they don't know what's inside. You're the only one that knows what's inside. You're the only one. See, Moses just told them, just stand still. Just stand still. Let's see what God's going to do. How hard is it to stand still? How hard is it to be patient at McDonald's when you're waiting on food? How hard is it when they tell you 5 minutes and it's 10 minutes later?
Go to Steak and Shake.
Oh yeah, don't go to Steak and Shake. That's where the devil is. I know. I've been there. But I want to turn over here to Psalms chapter 130. David writes this, and I think it hits it perfect for what you're getting ready to see. It says in verse 3, it says in verse 2, "Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplication. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand?" Verse 4, "But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared." There's forgiveness. How many's ever been forgiven?
Amen.
How many's ever got pulled over? And the cop goes, "You know what? I'm just going to give you one." Huh? I'll tell one on you before we turn these kids loose. They're not kids, they're young adults. We were going last Saturday, I took a day just for me and Fran, cut my phone off. No, that's all right. I hear you, Becky. Yeah. I cut my phone off and I said, for the first time, Fran, this whole day is yours. I ain't gonna lie. Second shopping place we stopped, I was dead tired. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, "God, I'm trying to be patient here. Open her eyes to what she needs." I ain't gonna lie, I was looking for a chair. You know, I was looking for a place to sit down. You know, every store we went into didn't have no place to sit down. But when I was taking her, we got there. When you get on 81, there's a work zone there, right there. Well, I'm with a bunch of trucks, and I'm just not thinking. We passed by this trooper. As soon as we passed by, man, he pulls out. My heart stopped. I'm like, "Oh, I do not need this. You got CDLs, you don't want no ticket." And he gets up, and my heart's just... Fran, again, my wife. "Oh, he ain't coming after you." "I'm glad you got faith." I tell you right now, I went by, the dude rolled out. "It's okay, honey." Sure enough, drives right by. I said, "Shh, wish I had you with me all the time." Well, just run down the road. But see, there's forgiveness that we forget about. See, God loves you. Did you know that?
Amen.
Do you know that God forgives you?
That's right. Amen.
He forgives you more than you forgive your neighbor.
Amen.
If somebody does something bad to you, it takes months. I told this to a guy. I was in Kansas City this week. I rolled in there, and this guy goes to start loading me, and he was mad. I mean, everywhere I go, just mad. And I was like, well, it's pretty out here. It's kind of flat, hilly, real windy. I'll be glad to get back to Virginia. He goes, you're from Virginia? I said, yeah. He said, I tell you what, work at this place, we got to know our reward is hell. And I was like, wow. I was like, do they pay you? He goes, oh, yeah. We get paid really good money. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I thought when you went to hell there was no reward. That's what I preach. There's no reward down there. Heaven, there's a reward. And he was like, oh, you're one of those guys. I said, yeah, I'm one of those guys. I said, I don't know how y'all are in Kansas City, but in Virginia, we do know who God is. But we started talking. But the thing about it is that when we go back to the children of Israel, you've got to understand that they had a lot of baggage that was on their life. You came in here today probably with baggage on your life. Some of you are already defeated because you feel like, what does God have for me? See, the thing about it is, God already has a plan for you. He has a destiny for you. The problem is, are you willing to get up and take it? So this morning, this is what I want you to do. I want you to watch these guys. And I want you to watch how they're going to bring this message.